Hello people of YouTube. Today I'm bringing you another little review. I recently picked this up. It is a wheel and circle cutter from Craftsman. They still have this listed on their website. Currently, or as of purchasing this for myself, it was not available to be shipped to your home. There are some stores that can still carry it. The one local to me, not so much. I found it on eBay for cheaper than I got it from the store, and definitely cheaper than I would have bought it from the store and to have it shipped. So whether or not they're discontinuing this, I'm not sure. But I'm going to open it up today. My brother has one of these, and the reason I bought it is you can cut large circles out of wood. What do we have in here? I've peeked in, but I really haven't opened it yet. Alright. Another Allen wrench to add to my collection of many Allen wrenches from all the things I've put together over the years. Yeah. Instructions. Wheel and circle cutter. I should probably review this real quick. So there's not a whole lot to it. You have a drill bit, and you have a cutting blade. And quite simply, the idea is depending on whether or not you want to cut a wheel or circle and how big depends on how you adjust it. We have a couple of adjustments here for our trusty Allen wrench. Let's pop that sucker out. You have a couple of adjustments. This allows you to adjust the diameter of the circle. So you can cut a fairly big one, because you've got to think this is half. It's going to be this on both sides. So that's a decent sized circle. I believe it's 6 inches. 1 to 6 inches, yeah. And you can slide it down to practically nothing. Now this is good for cutting a wheel, because the center is going to be cut out. And that also makes a good pilot hole for what I plan on doing with it soon. I'll probably use that method. Yeah. Or you take the bit out and simply cut a circle. It's double-sided. So you can adjust the depth of the cut for the wood that you're cutting. I'm going to take this over to the drill press, put it on, grab a piece of wood, and see what's what. I've got this mounted up here, and the thought occurred to me. I'm lining up the center hole just in case that goes through, but this blade is going to bottom out on the table. I don't want that to happen. I think it's time that I take some more scrap wood and I build a little bit of a table. And this will come in handy for more than just this, but this will let me cut all the way through the piece that I'm cutting and not scrape the metal table, not do damage to this, not do damage to that. And I think this will probably come in handy in other ways, other bits not bottoming out. And also this gives me a little bit more surface to clamp things down to so that I can do more work. And I did just what I said I was going to do. Matter of fact, I made another video. And let's see how well this thing works. Oh, I need to set the depth. Forgot to set the depth. I've been warned this can wobble, and I can kind of well, it's easy to see why. But I've switched this down to the slowest speed that I can. Let's see. It looked as if the the bit was tilting over. So I kind of readjusted and tightened the Allen wrenches. Let's see what happens. I guess maybe that's too thick to cut through. Huh. So this puzzled me probably far more than it should have, but I couldn't figure out why this had a lip on it. Well, I could figure out why, but I'm like, well, what's the point of having this neat little tool if it's not going to cut flat all the way through? And then I realized it hit me. This is flat. The way the blade is shaped on this tool, you have to decide, do you want to cut a hole that is smooth this way, or do you want to cut out a circle that's smooth? Because you have to flip this blade around the other way if you want the piece that you're cutting out to be smooth. So I am going to flip this around. At least that's the idea. And try this again. I don't think that's cutting properly. Still figuring out the best way to place this thing. Alright, so we're having some technical difficulties here. This piece wanting to get stuck on the wood. So flipped it over, and I'm going to try on the other side one more. Alright. So we keep running into the same basic problem. I guess the drill bit in the middle is kind of needed. The first circle that I cut worked out fairly smoothly as far as this not getting caught up or throwing the board off. I'm trying to turn around and cut out a circle that's smooth all the way around, so I've turned the blade around, but the problem I'm running into is it keeps getting caught in the wood and locking up and moving this board. So I tried some different clamps. I tried just a more sturdy C-clamp, but I only used the one. I shouldn't have done that. So I've got another one over here on this side to keep the board still. Maybe it was shifting. I've put the center drill bit back in, which I had taken out because I wanted to cut a circle without a hole in it. But I've put it back in. I'm going to give this another try. And the other problem I ran into, the only real problem, was that this wood is thick enough that this doesn't cut all the way through, which I might could fix by adjusting this. So I'm going to try again. I put the drill bit back. I've moved this out a little longer. I've got more secure C-clamps. Let's see if I can cut another circle out this time. Alright, so that's an obvious fail. So it would appear that maybe one of the problems is this flexing too much. Tighten it down some more and make another insane attempt. I guess in this situation it would be best to flip this over and try from the other side. This thing right here keeps tilting, which I imagine is making it more difficult to actually cut. So let's try this, see if we can't cut the rest of the way through. This isn't working. This just is not working. So I'm going to give it one last shot. Maybe the oak that I was using is just too hard of wood. Maybe it's just not meant for something like that. So I've got a little scrap piece of pine here. I've shrunk this down to pretty much as low as it'll go. And I'm going to give it one last shot and see if it can cut this little thin piece without too much trouble. That was much easier, but I put the blade on wrong, so it didn't cut the circle that I wanted it to cut. So let's flip it around. Let's see how this works. So there you have it. It works better on the softer woods. In conclusion, this didn't turn out quite as well as I'd like for it to. It created a lot of wobble in the drill press, which I was warned about. But I think maybe some of the problems I had cutting the one piece of wood, it was a thick piece of oak, which is a bit of a harder wood. It's possible that the thickness of it affected. This may not be able to cut but so thick a wood. It's possible that the wood was too tough. It's also entirely possible my drill press is not bolted down. It's not on a stand. It should be. For most of the stuff I'm doing, that's not been a big deal. But for this, I definitely need some more stability. So the fact that it was shaking and wobbling could certainly have affected it's getting stuck and not cutting properly. So for the time being, I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to say, I'm going to reserve judgment on this. I have seen some reviews online that say very good things about this. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put this on the side, and when I get another stand or I find a way to bolt this down to the table that it's on, I'll give her another try and I'll make a follow-up video. But for the time being, it did successfully cut the thinner piece of wood. It did successfully cut the pine. It does wobble. The advantage to this is you can cut varying sizes of circles. Cut from 1 to 6 inch wheels or discs. It is $20 for this, give or take, compared to a set of hole cutters, which would cost considerably more to be able to do the range of sizes this does. Which is one of the reasons I went with this instead of getting the hole saw for the drill, which is something I may end up doing, I don't know. So until I can steady my drill press, I'm not going to worry with this right now. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and keep an eye out for a follow-up video, because when I do get the drill press set on a table or get it more sturdy, I'm going to give this another shot and see how much of a difference it does make, because I really do think the fact that it wobble may not be the only problem, but it definitely is a problem. So thank you for watching, and stay creative.